All right, we are here with the head coach of the Brooklyn Lady Cats, Coach McKenzie Vaughan. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good.
Yeah, I bet so. Your team is headed to state for the first time ever. I want to ask you about that first and foremost. When you found out, when you won the game on Saturday and advanced to the state championship, what was your emotions and what were the thoughts going through your head knowing that you're going to state for the first time ever?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's every coach's dream and should be every player's dream. And it still feels a little surreal. Like, I was pretty speechless. I was emotional and I went over and hugged a longtime coach of Brooklyn, Coach Rawlinson. I think she's been here for like, I don't know, like 40 years or something like that. And I was just like trying not to cry because I wanted to hold it together for the girls. It was more of like, oh my gosh, cry. But it was just a really good feeling. We kind of started a little slow, but we kind of put it on them. And the bottom of our lineup, they did a phenomenal job. So,
Well, I know the last time we talked, you were saying that before the regional final against Avery, you said hopefully we shut them out, and you did, 18-0 in that one, and then
yes.
another shutout in the state semi of Leaky 11-0. So, I mean, we talked about her last time, Paige Powell in the circle, and how she's been doing, but it seems like she's not let up in those last two games either. So, talk a little bit about the pitching and defense because I know it's not just the pitching, the defense has to help as well. So, what about your pitching and defense these past two games have you liked so to see?
Well, Paige has pretty much handled them in the box. I mean, we've had a couple of times that they hit the ball and we were able to play defense, but it hasn't been very many. But when they did put the ball in play, we took care of business defensively. And, we did talk about how, like, do they get bored? Yeah, but they're still ready for anything. And Paige has literally, like, she's still lights out. And I think she's actually throwing harder than she was when we talked the last time. But still only allowing 2 runs in the postseason. And I think we've scored like 81 runs to the 2 runs that have been scored on us. And I mean, I think that just shows how dominant she is in the circle. So she's doing a great job, and she's hungry and she wants this just like everybody else. And she's doing a great job of leading the team on that part.
Well, and we talked last time, she's a sophomore, so a young lady in there in the circle kind of leading the team in here. But what has been your message to the team going to Austin? Obviously, it's going to be a different environment, a big
Mhm.
stage. You're playing on UT's field and all that. So the atmosphere is going to be something that a lot of these girls haven't experienced before. So what's your message to the team to prepare for that moment in that environment?
I mean, we've just been trying to soak it all in, like everything that comes with going to state. And I just keep reminding them, to be humble, but stay hungry. And at the end of the day, we're on a big stage, but it's still just another softball game. So if we can get our nerves out, the jitters out, the first inning, and go out there and settle in, there's a really good chance that we'll become the state champions. And I don't like to put the cart before the horse because we've got to play that game, and that's the only way that we can become state champions. But these girls, like, they're ready. They've been preparing for this for a long time. When they played little league, they went to state in little league, and they've all been playing together since they were little. So this is something that they've been ready for and preparing for a long time. So I think that they know they've got to just go out there and play their game.
Well, and speaking of the game, it is Saturday morning at 10 a.m. against Jonesboro. Do you know anything about this Jonesboro team? I know they're kind of away, but do you know anything about Jonesboro and what have you seen on film or anything expecting to see Saturday?
Well, I believe they only lost one player. They won state last year, so they're definitely a little vetted in that department. But it's at this point, we're just going out there to play ball. We're expecting um, the best. We're at the state game, and that's what it should be. But if we continue with our intensity, um, it's going to be hard for someone to get past. I'm just saying, like, the intensity and energy we have is pretty contagious, and so, but Jonesboro, like I said, they've been there last year. They won it last year. And they played a tough Natchez team who we lost to last year. But I've been in contact with some people, and they all seem to be pretty positive. But like I said, we're just going to go out there and play that game.
And to your point, like you were talking about earlier, like the bases are still 60 feet, like the pitching rubber to home plate's the exact same, doesn't matter where it's at. So yeah, it's still just a normal softball game. Just it's the final one of the year, and there's no tomorrow afterwards. So Saturday morning at 10, what's the plan? Do you having a send off, or what's that look like for before y'all head to Austin?
Right now, we're gonna get all that set today. It was hard with yesterday being, Memorial Day, and so we're going to probably shoot to leave by 10:30, and hopefully have a community send off from the school at 10:30. And we had one when we left for the state semis, and a lot of people showed up to cheer our girls on and send them off. We said a little community prayer for safe travels, and just that we would, do what we're supposed to. So, yeah.
Well, it sounds like an exciting time. I'm excited for you. I will be there Saturday as well to cover the game and hopefully talk to you afterwards. So, best of luck Saturday in the state championship game. We'll talk to you then.
All right. Thank you.